Hello sisters, I want to talk about the feminine in this video, and I really want to kind of get back to basics because I'm just really aware that we need to talk about what we mean when we say the feminine or our feminine essence. And I just want us to kind of really be aware that our femininity is within us, and it's something that's inside of us that we bring out to the fore and express on the outside. If you've caught up with my other videos to do with the inner she and the outer she, you'll kind of understand where I'm coming from. So if you haven't seen those, go and scoot back and catch up with those videos, because they've got some really, I really explain in those videos what I kind of mean about the inner she and the outer she. So in this video, I really want to talk about the feminine as an embodiment of who we are as women, and what the feminine really is. And I really kind of want to break it down for us so that our hearts can kind of sit in a new place. And I'm going to say as well what it isn't. So femininity has been interpreted by the world as something that is displayed on the outside of ourselves, how we act, how we dress, whether we choose to use makeup. And, floaty skirts, makeup and that kind of thing is deemed to be more feminine than a woman in trousers or a woman who has very short hair or those kinds of things. So the more we look like a male physically, we're deemed to be more masculine. And that may be true in the context that we bring our femininity out from within and we choose to express it on the outside of us. And so there's truth in that, but only to a point, because really our femininity, our feminine, is the part that's inside of us. Our feminine is our heart, and it looks very different from a masculine heart and attitude and outlook. And I think that's what I'm really trying to get at, is that the feminine resides inside us all of the time. And we can tune into our feminine as much or as little as we want to. And it is a powerful, powerful, powerful thing. And I talk lots, don't I, in my videos about squashing the feminine down and kind of making it be like nothing. And there's a kind of what's in its place is kind of a masculine sense or patriarchal sense of how women operate in the world, and I've explained about that in quite a bit of depth over various videos. So our femininity, if we can try and define what the feminine really is, it's all about being soft and open to receive, and open to give, and open to be. It's just a sense of openness. And the opposite, of course, is going to be a hardness and a closed offness. And I want us to kind of do a little exercise just in our own lives a little bit, and kind of in our interactions with other girls. I just want to see if we can kind of identify kind of where other women kind of sit with this, and see if we can see how open their hearts are or how closed off their hearts are. It's not a judgment thing. I just want us to have a look and see if we can identify where different women are sitting with this, because there's clearly many women who are kind of closed and hardened to receive good things. And that is one of my observations as I walk through life. And I know that the feminine is the complete opposite of that. It's open and it's soft and it's ready to receive and it's ready to give and it's ready to hear. In a feminine being, we can hear all things about ourselves, for good or for worse. We are able to receive things into our life, and some of them are very, very uncomfortable, and they are not what we would choose to hear. But if we are walking in a really strong place in our female essence, and we're very, very grounded, in our understanding of who we are as a female being. Those inbound things come in, but they don't affect us for the worst. We can use those things and we can turn them around, and we can take the truth out of them if there's any truth to be had. Sometimes there isn't, sometimes there isn't, sometimes they're not founded, sometimes it's just nastiness. But if there is truth in something that comes in, we can work those things through, use them to power up our femininity even more. And that is what being a female embodied essence being can do. We have the power to do that. In a closed off heart, you see, something inbound comes in and the hardness and the coldness remains. And I know that you know what I'm talking about, because in a closed off heart, in a hardened heart, what a person, how a woman is going to respond to that is to shut down and to shut the other person down, rather than wanting to have the ultimate growth from that situation. Now, I know these things are really, really difficult for us to deal with, because we're on a journey, of the heart. But the female heart, like I'm trying to say, is open and it's soft and it's able to receive all of these things in the right way, to make us better, to make us stronger, to make us more powerful. We've turned around the message and we've used it for our benefit, not to our detriment, when it was meant for our detriment. Do you see what I mean? You understand what I mean? So that's the first thing I want to say about the feminine, really, because that's really quite profound when we think that through. And the second thing I want to really say about the feminine is that it is not weak. We have this idea in our culture, in our society, that to be feminine, to be girly, is weak and wispy and somehow wrong. And I want to challenge that straight up, because it is not weak to be feminine. It is super, super strong. Remember, we talked about the inner she being strong on the inside, and if our femininity is on the inside of us, that is where we are the strongest. We're supposed to be strong on the inside because we understand our own hearts really, really well, and we've sorted out our boundaries. We know what we think, we know who we are, we know what our divine purpose is. All of these things are becoming settled within us as we move on this awakening journey into the feminine. We're moving into that space where that becomes more and more real in our lives. So that's not weak in any shape or form. That's strong, and that's brave, and that's great. And I just really wanted to kind of bring these things to our hearts, because we need to hear these things in a way in which, firstly, we can understand, and secondly, that we can kind of link into and redress our thinking on it, because we've been given messages about what to be feminine is all of the time through our whole entire lives, and those things are entrenched. You've got to wear high heels to be feminine, you've got to wear a skirt to be feminine, you've got to wear makeup to be feminine. No, it's the heart that is open and soft and able to be malleable to receive other people for where they are at. And this is the wonderful thing. Once we deal with that in our own life, then we can move into a place where, when we're dealing with other people, we are truly accepting of where they're at. There is no more judgment because we're okay with ourselves. There is no more kind of unspoken unforgiveness because we've forgiven ourselves. So this is the kind of thing that I'm kind of getting at, because our feminine has been resolved. We've put ourselves back onto the throne of our own queendom, as it were. Does that make sense? And that is where we need to sit, girls. That is where we need to sit. I'm a queen, you're a queen. Let's sit on the throne of our own queendoms, because that is our rightful place. That is our rightful place. And it is not weak. It is strong, because it's full of power. It doesn't look like a man's power. It's not physically strong necessarily, It's not competitively strong necessarily. Those things are male traits. Our traits are far, far, far different, but in no way lesser or in no way weaker, just different. So we need to think very carefully for our own heart, kind of where we're sitting with all of these things, because a new day is coming. A new day where we girls are going to rise up in strength and power, both individually in ourselves and together as a sisterhood. And this is really exciting. I find this really, really exciting. So I just want you to be blessed, and I want us all to be ready, and I want us to be prepared, and I want us to go for it, because we have a real strong understanding of what it is to be feminine. And bless you, girls.